Hey, Gary here with you, update 26. I want to go back and update 25, and I want to give you the information that I failed to give you. Inside of this blog post, I had turned off the Cite external resources that Koala does when they use external resources, and I'd mentioned that in update 25, and I said I was going to show you what I was talking about. If you scroll down to the bottom, conclusion, there is this paragraph. A new group called Naming Rights announced that they will be auctioning off the naming rights to a near-Earth asteroid. Now, I edited this to say a new group called Naming Rights. If you go back to Koala, and just to show you, inside of Koala, when you use the real-time search results, it by default has site resources, and I had toggled that off just to see what would happen because I was getting a lot of external links that I was going to have to clean up. But I think it's better if I leave the site sources on there and just take that extra step and clean them up, because if you go to how to get an asteroid named after yourself and you scroll back down to that conclusion, the paragraph actually said last month a new group called Naming Rights announced that they will be auctioning off the naming rights. Well, there's no reference point for me and last month, or the reader and last month. So you can see I just changed it, a new group called Naming Rights, but I want to actually step back and I want to go back and I want to find that reference. So how would I do that? Well, I think the best way for me to do that would be to go to ChatGPT that is connected to the internet, and Bing, or Bing Chat, is powered by ChatGPT AI technology, which is developed by OpenAI. Of course, we're using ChatGPT Plus, or you could be using the ChatGPT free version, but it doesn't have access to the internet. It only has the information that's been fed to it up to like 2021. Koala has added that extra feature, kind of like what Bing is doing, and going out and looking at references on the internet. So I simply pasted that paragraph, or that sentence from the paragraph. Last month, a new group called Naming Rights announced they will be auctioning off the naming rights to a near-Earth asteroid. Then you can see that Bing came back and said, yes, I heard about that too. A new group called Naming Rights announced they will be auctioning off the naming rights to a near-Earth asteroid. And then it said learn more, and it linked to the actual resources. Here you can see an article at theatlantic.org, iu.org, buying star names and themes naming. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll look at that one, as well as the one at The Atlantic. But the one at The Atlantic is an article that we're actually trying to compete against with the content we create, because how to get an asteroid named after you is the keyword we're going for. So we'll parse through this article and we'll see where that information is. And then we will actually use that information and we will cite this article or one of the other ones if it makes sense. But I just wanted to take a few minutes to clear that up and make sure that you had all the information that I had said. I was going to give you an update 25, but we are doing a lot of stuff. And that stuff that we're doing has successfully got us 38 pages indexed. Now, if you remember, if you go back to one of the updates, and I'll leave the link in the description with the exact update where I reference this so we can go back and look at it. But you can see that these are crawled, not currently indexed. And check out that video. I'll leave it up here in the cards as well. The video where I talked about this error specifically. And you'll see here that this post is actually indexed, but it says that it was last crawled April 20th, which is incorrect. I covered that in that video in the cards. But one of the videos here, or one of the links that I updated with additional information that I got from creating additional information to update the post in ChatGPT after it didn't get indexed, after it was crawled, has now been indexed. And you can see all that in the other update. So watch that update and then come back to this video, and then you'll see here the difference between these three affected pages that haven't been updated or haven't been crawled. So what we'll do is we'll update those and see, or this one specifically, the Big Bang Theory evidence. We'll take a look at this one because you can just simply click on this. And here you can see the information, but if you click on this, it'll take you to the blog post. And in that other video, of course, you probably watched that and came back by now, but in that other video, basically the idea is the quality of the content needs to be high quality, or they're looking for quality content, and that's usually the issue. Because at the end of the day, Google is reading through this and they're saying, what does this bring to the table? and why should I index for this keyword. So I don't really see anything here that would cause a problem just at a glance with this one. I thought this actually was a pretty good article. So we'll take a look at that. And again, I'll probably even go back and watch that update video to make sure that I remembered what I said about this, because the idea here is you're looking at these going, okay, they were crawled but currently not indexed. And if you click on learn more, it's very sparse on what it says. It just simply says the page was crawled by Google but not indexed. It may or not be indexed in the future. No need to resubmit this for URL crawling. But in that other video, you'll see that I actually hit this button right here. Or if I cancel out of this one, I think if I go back to page indexing and I go back to crawled, currently not indexed, you can see that validation failed. And of course, to learn more here, if you click see details, it shows here failed. And if you hover over that question mark, Google checked for the issue instance and it's still there. An instance can reach the state only if you explicitly clicked validate. And then you have the new validation up here that you can click. So they did recrawl it on May 8th. You can see there. So we'll try to figure out what the issue is, because they don't specifically tell you the issue. Which at this point takes me to just recentering and thinking here on day 26 as we go through this update. There is a lot to do, and as you can see, I had to make this update to update you on the update, as well as update you on the issue of looking at the blog post and saying, okay, the AI wrote this and then Google didn't index it, but it indexed 38 other pages that was written by the AI. So that is not the issue. The issue is not that the AI wrote it. And I've been watching a lot of videos about SEOs, particularly SEOs that are claiming that AI content is not the way to go. Simply saying that you can't interject yourself into the content. And I would say that yes, you can. And part of that, and part of this challenge, and even this site on the About Us page, I specifically said that it's me using the AI to go find this information, to pull this information and put it on the blog, but also me putting in my editing hat on. And because I have a interest in the content, I'm going through, I'm reading the content, and I'm doing what I've done in this video. I'm going back and I'm using AI, in this case, Bing, to go and pull more information. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to research that paragraph that said last month. And then I'm going to find that reference, and then I'm going to link to that reference. So the people that read my article, they have all the information the AI wrote and the at a glance tables that I'm creating, as well as I'm going to link out and give them additional information based on the research that started with AI, but then I interjected as myself or as a human into the content creation process. I don't think it's an all or nothing as far as what the SEOs are saying about folks that just go out and just create content on something they don't have any interest in or don't know anything about. Then that content will rank or has a possibility to rank, but then it will just tail off in the future because they're not adding any insight to it. They're not adding any of their personal insight, personal research, and they're not adding anything other than just the facts. But again, this site was created, universeunriddled.com, simply to be about facts, facts about space, the universe, astronomy, cosmology, and that is what we're doing. But again, when there's something like this where it actually calls out a reference and it says something like last month, I need to put a reference. I need to wrap that in some type of reference so people understand what the AI actually had written about, because Koala is going out and pulling those references, but I turned off its capability to cite that reference for me. So again, I shot myself in the foot, and now I'm going back and cleaning that up. And in the future, I'm just going to leave that site reference toggle, and then I can just instantly at a glance have that, click the link, and it's going to tell me exactly, just like Bing did, where that reference came from. I can reference it. I can actually go and read it and add my own information to it, or do a little more research and add even more detail to it, or I can just link over to that Atlantic article so people have the context when they read the content that I'm creating with AI. That's the update for update 26. If you're having a good time, give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you think, what you're learning, what you want to know, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.